Thank you, Lord Mayor. Can I thank all members in the Chamber for their outstanding contributions and their kind words, which I accept on behalf of the committee and the officers. Unfortunately, Councillor Reginald isn't in his seat, otherwise I would have responded to the concerns he raised, but I will do. I totally agree with him with respect to the multi-faith forum work, and the contribution that faith organisations, establishments make across this city is quite outstanding, and that was clearly conveyed during the disturbances in 2011. I also totally agree with him with the work of the community team in Lazars and Handsworth since the unfortunate riots in Lazars and Handsworth of 2005. They've done some outstanding work. Where I disagree with him is he referred to the community development networks that he set up as cabinet whilst he was in position as cabinet member. I think it's time that this city supported organisations and neighbourhoods on a geographical basis rather than particular ethnic groups. I think it's time to support cohesion. I live in Lazars. I think I'm more likely to be affected by an issue in Lazars because of my neighbours rather than because of my ethnicity. Councillor Eva Phillips, congratulations on a fantastic maiden speech. I totally take on board your concerns regarding child poverty and inequalities, and again reiterate the fact that addressing inequalities in the city will go a long way in promoting social cohesion. I also support your comments with respect to the handmade markets, as you will give an opportunity to profile Brummie talent in the city. One of our partners in the city, Birmingham City University, have already started this particular work by setting up a Brummie's Made Me store in a retail shop in the mailbox. Councillor Robert Oldham, thank you for your comments, in particular with respect to the heritage and history. The welcome pack, without doubt, I think it's important that the ideal recommendation one, which says support the recommendation, support the pack set up by the government and add a Brummie element to it rather than duplicate the piece of work. I think Councillor Barry and yourself mentioned the element around council committees. This recommendation may be slightly confusing. We're not by any means saying that there needs to be a certain level of ethnic minority on the council committees. We're more referring to the organisations and boards that the council set up, in particular the Social Cohesion Forum. But what we will point out is there has been a lack of representation of young people, females and the white community. We clearly see with the Education of Vulnerable Children's Overview and Scrutiny Committee where there's an allocation for 2 young people to sit there that's made a positive impact. So we're supporting that sort of ethos rather than having a particular ethnic group on particular committees. Councillor John Cotton, who is going to take on this piece of work, I'm very grateful for your leadership on the social inclusion process, along with the Bishop of Birmingham, and I'm grateful that the recommendations complement that particular piece of work. Councillor Walking, another fantastic maiden speech, and thank you for your contribution on the work of the group. I think the City of Sanctuary recommendation is something that's incredibly important for the city, but gaining that status won't be where it stops. I think we need to do a lot more to support destitute members of community that reside here in Birmingham. Councillor Barry, again, thank you for your support on the working group. You reiterate the importance of history. In the past, you also mentioned the work around social media and the engagement. This report was one of the first scrutiny inquiries ever to take evidence via Twitter, and the fact that mybrum hashtag was trending back in September clearly conveys that people were utilising that particular element. In recent days, I've had, and the office have had numerous communications with historians and professors from Aston University, BCU, Birmingham Uni and Professor Colchin, who are more than happy to support in putting that heritage pack together to disseminate to schools. So I think it's important for us as a local authority to engage with other agencies on this particular matter. Councillor Phil Davis, thank you for your comments. You're doing some sterling work as a heritage champion. I'm pleased that this piece of work links into the heritage strategy. Councillor Icklak, you're absolutely right. He's again left the chamber. Councillor Icklak, for highlighting the contribution of the minority communities. I recently heard Ed Miliband quote a faith leader when speaking about integration. He said that assimilation was like going to stay in a posh country house and being told you're a guest here and must dress for dinner as I do. But Birmingham in the 21st century cannot be like an old stately home. We must think of the home we built together. In all its richness, variety, diversity, we must live together across communities. Overcoming division without asking people to lose their sense of themselves. A city where people of all backgrounds, all races, all ethnicities, all cultures can practice their own religion, continue their own customs, but also come together to forge a new and better identity. That is the challenge. We must have a comprehensive strategy for integration and above all, a strategy to combat inequality. At the moment, the things that most unite the greatest number of our citizens are poverty and a lack of opportunity. If we're serious about pride in our city, if we're serious about anything, that's what's got to change. Thank you, Lord Mayor.
Is that agreed? Thank you, Councillor.